recently after some investigations, also. So clearly, when the systems are in place, you are able to check these criminals. But because there are more to come, and you come to the realization that they were all like this in this format. All of them open one company, register to your name or your wife or your sister-in-law or your concubine, then use it to siphon the money. So close, and all state mercenary and so forth. So I think that
and in you a year a friend is a mammy Sicilia da power so no crano, Sicani Yenunia Penidia, Feco VHS in Nuano Crano, so on county as for a few de quay say some minor transfer Sicano a free a year as some man pomu. As an confu way dear, one more tactics somebody by Inano, Sanya Samiji and Fika and John 1010. They truly came to steal, to kill and to destroy.
Sir, or mine not penny now, because I could find my catchers or no, he wasn't president. Or no, childhood fantasies wanted to be president, ever man, no. So being president, he didn't think, say, being president, that came with the responsibility. So other lieutenants, were liberated. And at the end of the day, the president at his hub, people were doing the same thing. Same stealing, siphoning, a Jubilee House or incident, NC. Scandal ben my president enka ho we have the Jazeera yeah your friends say gold scandal na see no
yes so, gold
so if the president himself was involved in criminal scandals how much more junior lieutenant and as for so at the end of the day the floodgate was open baby no bia they saw it as an avenue to amass wealth come MacArthur said they never came to build a country. Hospitals no more cars don't be if I don't see hospitals here. But one person is able to buy properties but account cost $1 million. Sika brand
Abraham say na dialysis machine cramp no Ghana for crano the northern part hospitals ebiniwo the western ebiniwo eye Volta ebiniwo eastern ebiniwo just a shantini a friend is a greater eno crampo crano aye dada.
And our winner fee say Kolebu they shut the place down for 1 week 2 weeks now people were dying over fee. Because they told us, na sika new machines na 14 in as for them. But one person had $1 million to purchase these properties and several other cars. So I think the update here, the age the should not just end here. I think immediately now he should follow with prosecution because he has confirmed that he now has enough evidence to prosecute this particular case. And this should be just the beginning. And my catcher say, era na ye ba na me bani osofo aba mala mabaye be pacha wo sa ankrasem no must not be tolerated this time round.
Una say Boahen dey Professor Boahen MPP no mo first flag bearer ne ba and Naija wa onu ho aba asemi na just one we kra MPP kra kwa ekoye demonstration no.
Oh, na say and make say that era sa ankrasem no na a blocky government from doing some of these things no. That thing should be stopped. We say we are committed to resetting this country. This must be communicated in the forms like this. Because Ghanaians are ready. Ghanaians want to see the Nipa of Ria or Musikan are held accountable. Oko National Service, one of the cases, said National Service Secretariat, Kwabrani Betimia for National Service account. Now what Sika Koto MP account to say Jisa Sika way na scandal aba. Already you sooner could defend the and the culture that these people are stupid among as unintelligent criminals. How do you even leave the paper trail paying an MP say go and defend us in the media because your scandal and you transfer Sika to account
the very people's money no the very people's money no a lawmaker and ya catch a lawmaker and say won't co bribe a journalist na won kan nsema na wo manya foot soldiers nso be baba be defend wo musika na ye wia no na just say de wo kan de na just say de me de wo free e ho na yakọ oye owura jakpa ene eye Bank of Ghana nsemia na de yankofo ka say owura jakpa wan fa kwan pa so me satellite team de eye the police warrant ni nyina ma me attorney general so aba be ka say won ema no eye oje warrant ansa no wo kọ eye Bank of Ghana aso yakwa search no that is the MPP for can raid and there's nothing called raid but proper search was done. nkofo cry yes oh and you right Japan no cry na be cry no ayen twene nsinche. Is it because they are afraid say the man is working, he's doing his job, and so the only person oh yeah adwuma no ye hwe na ye bombodi na public ni ye painting as a friend is say sasabonsam bia Ghana for no be hunu be ka so we cry there witch hunt you know ye nyini nsinche senior these people may corrupt no will go scot free no be cry can asem we are witch near Hantewa, listen, I woman saying.
Yeah, Dr. Ron said, and Americano, we do a lot of emotional politics in our part of the world. And the issues no bad. Just ignore the key fact, twist the emotions of the general public just to elicit some kind of that partisan emotions from them. And then, so we see a phenomenon. Okay, vu issue now, but she said national security operative no more Korea na yiri wearing in as a forum. So anya Ghana forum we are serious about the fight against corruption this time round, and that thing was going to take over the media. But you see, say a flop it didn't pick up.
And I can say it on authority, say me a year a friend say me team information the man say omuko fi okra omuko to a year 500,000 Ghana cedis omanfa over 40 something thousand US dollars omanfa ada enema wo hokra de wo fi ono kra de any videos they me sure say as a year investigations e kwa enim no senior a year age kan e kra no owo audios kra wo ho ensem kese wo mu pa so de beto abontene a emu nsem no ebeye bebre enti senior wo kan yempenti ora jakpa ene eye ne national security for eye bad.
Yeah, Dr. Ran said, Ube platform which I mean now in the past, we've said a lot about the national security, how unprofessional they've become in recent times, how more ready a man for fear, the notoriety, the national security gaining with some of the things that it got to a point, and I said, and you who be able to room her piano, now the national security. So that picture, that template, is right inserted in the minds of Ghanaians. And people may not be judging the current activities of the national security based on what they are doing, but based on the preconceived notion they have because of the activities they've been engaging. I don't want the situation national security will be say, hey, man belong to the 12th century. But Dr. Ren, through subsequent revelations, this wasn't just a raid. But it was something that they got an intel. Then they wrote to the Attorney General. Attorney General went to High Court for a warrant. It becomes an issue when there is no warrant involved. But if they went through the legitimate process of securing a warrant through the Attorney General from a court of competent jurisdiction, the national security have every right to follow through, to investigate. It becomes a problem when there is no warrant. But in this case, and now with a press conference, now he confirms that on one actually to the court to issue those warrants, and those warrants were issued. And they went there purposely based on intelligence that they gathered. Over the years, national security ni boura manfofie. National security beti me bo awura obifie without warrant when the person is in the process of committing a particular crime. In the doing it, and stopping or cause irreparable harm. For instance, manya intel said Dr. Ren etifie was san and cry 5 for no or muti and obia letting national security. In the process of committing that crime, yeah, afraid I will court warrant. Because that delayance, will lead to
the death.
Exactly. So you see, even in the dealings of the national security, there are exceptions when it comes to some of the, and this thing is not just peculiar to Ghana, around the world. Of course, sometimes they get there before what me as your warrant, because it becomes an issue when you go in there and there is nothing, and then they are to be. But so come now indeed that intelligence now pick a play out the person and power kunipa me do go okuzua o betwa me the touch me and santia. you acted in time, and in such situations, you don't need any warrant. But in a situation that a preconceived search like this, you're planning, you need a warrant because there is no crime that is being commissioned at the time. You need a warrant. And in this particular instance, there are sufficient evidence to prove that a warrant was secured. So if a warrant was secured, then what is the big deal? And you see, sometimes they try to do politics. AGR press conference and yet Nakranka menim that say when MPP took over, they raided his home. And there are several top officials in the then NDC government. Omuko ura omufie trashed their homes, but they never held a press conference. Edward Jitama Kulusi at some point in time, they came to his house. Anyway, they went to his onokra there also mudi a two number and fee. But he never, because they came there with a proper warrant, they searched, took whatever that they needed. He never played victim. But these are guys, they just want to play to the gallery just to elicit some kind of sympathy from the public. So when you create impressions, you are being hounded. And national security over the years, they have bad name. That is a fact. And the one you press on that bad name, people will go against them. And that is the soft spot Afenyo Markin and the other people were exploiting. Now, at this thing now, and near my papa will yayen Ukruma or Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ren. I just hope, sir, whatever investigation going on around him, will swiftly be dispatched. Na yem court, na yem who the details. Because near my kosu Ukruma saying. And on the other side, I think that the operations of the national security going forward, in the past, mechanical must be reformed. And I think that I still stand by that. Because you see, we've gotten to a point that in the past, or modern national security, public trust and confidence, are waning. So in order to do that, and I think they need a radical reforms just to ensure that their operational objectives, vision, and what they are supposed to do, need to be reformed. Because the national security, is not supposed to be a gun welding institution. So, omo gather intelligence, na omo here a force to execute something. You call on the police. You call on the other institution without mandate to do so. Now, and yes, sir, na say you engage in the SS, I don't know a man for the umbeka toda assemno. Ebi an national security any for they are acting right, but enam mental pictures are man for painting about the national security, now it turned out to be something different. So I think that we need to. I know national security is supposed to be an intelligent gathering organization, institution that is supposed to gather, process, and route their information to other institutions. They collaborate with other institutions for actionable course to be taken. It's not a gun welding or gun tooting organization that runs around town with go-to guns, intimidating people like we saw in the past. So
but,
I think there is supposed.
But also say senior working. National security is so Rebecca Sebia. Ye meremuno. Womo protect from a threats.
Yes.
In terms of arming themselves, protecting themselves from dangers, they need to also be well equipped because so far the homeland security by UK, the national security, American national security, easy. Tuning your bulletproof versus helicopters and them we it's a gun at the end of crowd. They even need more a friend is saying equipment to even encourage them to do their job. I mean, a friend is saying,
Yeah, Dr. Ran, sir, if you've been following the operations of the CIA, my culture said the CIA within the US, they don't have internal jurisdiction. They operate as more or less like a spy agency or more espionage and more. And most of the actionable intel will be a CIA. Emma, on net, a lot of the criminal activities do come from them. What you do is you liaise with other institutions with the power to wield guns and those stuff. So national security will not be out of place when they move with the security, the proper security, with a proper designation to hold arms and those kind of stuff. What did American say?
Yeah,
So
Matthias, yeah. I mean, they work in accord. In a friend is they coordinate with other.
Because it's not all the time when they are gathering their intelligence. You may do it. That some of the information must not even get to other institutions unless you are done. But when there are actionable calls to be executed, require force and require some of that brute force to execute something. You can even go with the military. What did American say? You can go with some of these agencies with that mandate so that you don't conflict your own protocols and your own designation. And I say procedures and guidelines are what they are, Juma.
It is a media idea. They just said they should stick to the intelligence bureau, no, the information gathering. No more farmer a year, the other a year, a friend is saying security agencies.
Yes, because in recent times, you know, where Akufo-Addo pensioner, they abuse them to the extent say institution that is supposed to operate maybe 60% behind the scene was at some point operating 100% behind front lines. And then, we Pentecost decking for free. Who nipo mushe coat akase wo kroma national security. That you no Pentecost for omo coat to sepa. And I wish they are branches you are not say coat white. Now go tabona task or national security. And we are getting near the mu koba. But this is supposed to be national security in this tandem force. It's supposed to be an intelligence gathering organization. You liaise with other institutions just to ensure, say, you prevent crime. You make sure, say, the national security of the country, you know, is secured and upheld. But, and I am saying all this because of the national security in recent times. Obi dane dem ne yesi akwakofa no abrante yesi bongo ideals ahwan dane dem ne akwakoche no emirate woman way yesi yafa no national say all sort of nasty stuff so sa niema way a create some bad mental pictures about the national security. And then what's the name national security? The respect that man for a woman, the confidence and the trust. I say nipanya wom no because of Nema I see in the past national security are involved in tino. Na a man for air to chum oh we num dear because there is this notion say obi or national security be a party boy. And yet the go tabo matter so no monam krum no mu din sem hunu. That is the notion. That is why I'm calling say we need to reform it to reflect the intelligence organization is supposed to be. Sebaya. Because in all this institution, it's not about you going out there doing your job. No. Every security institution be a the most cardinal thing, the most crucial thing. I have trust and confidence the general public repose in that institution. Once that trust is gone, trust me, you are done. So we need to do that.
Abusia ugno so a wutie Rainbow Radio 92.4 FM yani owura eye Ivan Chey Innocent energy nkomonana Chey senior metai friend no ene ne din enkomo no ye behwe eye the eye adwoa safo but before then no yentie we just quickly na ye ba ye the adwoa safo ne eye CCA MPP are they in crisis? I didn't know what more stopping is